This video is about my 2-year journey as a carnivore and where I'm at now with this lifestyle. I never thought when I started that first I would be here after 2 years. This diet has been healing beyond the reasons I went into it. Foremost, it's just helped me in a way like recalibrate my relationship to food and just sort of like these hunger signals that I used to have that were inaccurate, or these cravings. Like before the carnivore diet, I used to eat and almost immediately want to think about the next meal or want to get a dessert or something sweet. And I thought that was normal until I went carnivore, and then I realized that, whoa, it's like now I eat a meal and I literally have to force myself to think like, oh, you should probably eat because it's been like 5 hours. And that's really changed my perspective on the diet culture in a way where I'm like, yeah, if you're always dieting, of course you're going to want to be hungry because you're not nourishing your body how you want. So I'm not saying that everyone should be carnivore. That's kind of what's helped me heal, because I had oxalate poisoning, which is what the plant's defense mechanism. So naturally for me, the carnivore diet after being vegan for so many years was what I needed. There's lots of people that have success on the keto diet. But I think what I'm learning most is everybody is different. The other thing that I've noticed is just my mood and my sleep, and yeah, just even like things like my period, everything's just so much more even. I'm not saying that it's not like I don't have emotions or dysregulated days, but like I don't really get that much PMS. If I get PMS, it might be like one day and I'm like, why do I feel so like agitated or like just more on edge? But it's never like before where it would affect me a lot. And my period was the worst. Like I could not do anything. I had to take a pill. If I didn't take a pill, I would just die of just pain. Like the sensation was unbearable that I had to take medication. I know some people have it really poorly that they need to take consecutive days. I was lucky enough that I would only have to take ibuprofen 1 or 2 days and then I was fine. But I still had to take ibuprofen. If I didn't, there was no way I could move. Like my stomach felt like it just twisted on itself. And so that's been amazing. Even like the length of my period now feels like normal. Like before I would have my period for like a week. And like now I'm like, maybe 2 days of like big flow. But then after it subsides, and it's fine. And so it just feels like I've recalibrated my system to even things like this, like having a healthy period, which I've never had in my life before. From like when I started to have my period to now, it's always been problematic. The other thing is also my bowels. Like I too used to think that meat made you constipated, but actually no, it doesn't. Like I've never had such good bowel movement. Too much information, I know, but it's just like everything. Just I go to the bathroom once a day, sometimes twice a day. There's no like weird indigestion or like farts. When I was vegan, I used to fart all the time. It was just so bad. And again, I thought that was normal. Now I never fart. And then there's all of these things. I'm like, oh, okay, it can be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. And the same with, let's say I'm busy or I'm working on coaching and I don't have time to eat. And then I have to be hungry for like 2 hours. That would have never been a possibility before. Like before when I used to get hungry, my mood would drop down. I would get lightheaded. Just I could not focus. Like very hangry in a way, and it was just like move out of my way. Like very survival. Like my body was like, oh my god, if you don't get food, we're going to die. Versus now, I'll be hungry, but my energy is the same, which is another amazing benefit. I have recently started to add occasionally some berries. So I'll have blueberries, or like raspberries with my yogurt, and that seems to be okay. I can't do it too much because then my stomach gets kind of weird, but that seems to be okay. And I've also started to have sometimes just some plain white rice. But other than that, I'm pretty much like carnivore. Yeah, so I feel amazing. I'm just going to keep going until my body tells me to do otherwise. I haven't had sugar in 2 years, which is amazing. And I feel amazing with that. The best thing ever to not have this yo-yo energy. And it's even better that I don't crave it because I don't know. I don't want to have to fight with my mind and my body to not eat something. And this is what I realized, like, nor do we have to. Like, if you're nourishing your body properly, you naturally don't crave that stuff. And so carnivores also allow me to do that. Like, other than healing the oxalates, I just eat as much as I'm hungry, and then I'm not hungry after. And it's like such a simple process when I think about it. Like, I don't have to fight myself. I don't have to fight my body because I'm giving it what I want. And it's also helped with just like emotional regulation because it's like my body's not feeling under threat of like being hungry all the time. So yeah, in terms of like the oxalate, they're still coming out. I've had a few random rashes that kind of like popped up here. It's still coming out of my urine, kind of like this crystal-like layer on top. And sometimes like these random, I don't know, these look like pimple, and then inside there's like this hard, it looks like a little sand crystal. So I'm gonna keep going. My skin is mostly good. I did have a bit of a flare-up. I'm suspecting that it's maybe because as your body kind of moves the stuff out of the tissue, it can have different layers. And I recently started to play paddle like 4 months ago, and I'm playing regularly, like once a day. For at least an hour or like an hour and a half. And so my cardio is a lot higher than it's ever been, which I think is helping my lymphatic system, which is the problem before because my lymphatic system never worked optimally because I had my tonsils and my adenoids taken out. So I think because I'm getting my lymphatic system, the oxalates are kind of trying to push through again. So I've had not a lot, like a few of the spots kind of like flare up, but I don't see it as like a bad thing because now I know what it is. It's more just so trusting that my body is just kind of like expelling it and trusting like how I feel. My sleep is good, my mood is good, my cognitive ability is good, so all of those things feel great. So I'm just leaning into that and just again just like trusting my body. If at some point I need to eat something else, I'm gonna trust that that is what my body needs and goes for it, because right now I've recalibrated well enough that if my body signals that, I want to trust that. So please, if you have any questions, write it below. Where are you at if you're on a carnivore diet? How long have you been on there? And if you'd like me to make any other videos, please post them below.